It is my honor and a privilege to be sending special greetings to the YWCA of Goa, a group in formation, and I congratulate you all, especially as you celebrate your first anniversary. I congratulate you not only because you've formed a group in Goa, but I recognize all the efforts and the activities that have gone into this 1 year with the full involvement of your membership and leadership. For us, a group in formation is a very exciting phase because it allows us the opportunity to visualize and see an association grow in its full form right from the very beginning. There is also a challenge here, I feel, because you have an ideal opportunity to start a group with your own unique vision, looking at the realities of Goa, looking at the issues that confront the communities, especially women and girls in Goa, and also a fresh new beginning where you can form a diverse group of women that will have a very clear vision to take the group forward. And I wish to once again say how pleased we are at the national movement to see a group in formation in Goa happening and well on its way to development.
How would you challenge the new group in formation in Goa?
First of all, I'd like to say that you have a strong group of leadership and membership. I think you already have about 30 women, and this is very encouraging because very often we start with very small groups, but here is a group we feel who has, right from its very beginning, has created a platform where you've identified 3 to 4 key areas of work that you have shared with us. One is working in communities with regard to health of women and children. One is working on environmental concerns, and the other on leadership development. And I think this is very positive, and here again the vision that you have is something that you can challenge yourself with from time and again. Push yourself beyond your limits and challenge each other in making sure that these programs also have a very strong advocacy component. We do know that Goa has some very serious concerns, whether it's land mining or if it's the issue of women in tourism, the effects of tourism on girls, whether it's HIV/AIDS or it's trafficking, or even some environmental concerns in Goa that need to also become concerns of the YWCA. So this is, the time is now, I feel, that women of Goa, especially women as in the YWCA, have the responsibility and also the challenge to make sure that whatever you do develop, you develop programs which are absolutely relevant to the needs of the community today, and that they also address some social issues in your community. We strongly feel that today's YWCAs cannot anymore be seen as a charity-based organization. It has to have some very strong development policies that affect and transform lives of women and girls. And therefore, we believe that your programs also need to have a very strong development base, have to have a very strong advocacy component, making sure that rights are being addressed, rights of women and girls and children in whichever area you're working in. Even if you're working on HIV/AIDS, I think you have to look at the advocacy component over there. The sexual reproductive health rights of young women, for instance, has to be addressed. We believe that this is the time now that when you're looking at programs that you work in the communities but with a very strong advocacy component in your programs.
How do you see the membership grow in Goa?
While we talk of membership, I think it's important that we also look at what type of membership. Once again, group informations always have the advantage of starting a group with some very clear guidelines as to the type of members we should be encouraging. And members come also based on the kind of vision and the programs that you're developing. I would say often what happens in the YWCAs around the country is that we become a very exclusive group of one particular class or one particular religion or one particular caste. And our constitution clearly says that this is a movement that seeks to promote the development of women and girls irrespective of caste, class, religion, age, and that we do need to promote programs that are responsive to the changing needs of our society. So therefore, I think even in our membership, let's deliberately try and make an effort to find women of different diverse backgrounds. And as a group in formation, yes, we do know that at least a percentage of the group should be women from the Christian background, but I would certainly encourage Goa, which has a diverse group of women in your society, to include women, especially women of other faiths, women of other classes, and women of other castes, so that we do become an organization that's open to all women.
What are some key institutional issues that associations in different regions face that Goa can be careful of while they are still maturing into a full-fledged association?
Good question, because as a GIF in Goa, I think it's very important from now itself to be aware of certain institutional issues that you can fall into a trap, in fact. And I would say that for a YWCA, for an ideal YWCA, there are certain non-negotiables. And one is programs. And YWCAs need to invest in programs which are issue-based, because a lot of the YWCAs, we are so, spend a lot of our time and energy in investing in property and buildings and offices, and there are no programs. So I would say right from the beginning to identify those key issues and areas of work that a YWCA needs to definitely work on, something that Goa needs to keep a focus on. Secondly, it's the leadership and the membership, governance. A lot of the associations, I feel, the governance is failing, and that's also due to there isn't a collective leadership, and often we have some very strong leaders, often operating either by themselves or in groups of one or two, but there hasn't been a group participation or consensus building. And therefore I would encourage that from the very beginning that you do have your group together, that you have a strong board that visions together, that takes decisions as a collective group. Very important. And thirdly, you need to reach out and not, like I said, once again, be a very exclusive group. Try and encourage participation and networking is very important. I think we need to network with as many groups outside of the YWCA. And as a GIF, this is again a good start. If you identify some key social networks or NGOs or women's groups or interest groups that relate to some of the areas or programs that you want to take up, I would say start networking right away. This is the strength of an organization like ours. And finally, we have to be seen, we are a very unique movement. We are one of the largest and the only women's ecumenical movement in the country and the world. So we do have a very unique component of being an organization that maybe doesn't have a direct affiliation or to a political party, let's say, or a specific group, but we're able to incorporate as many groups to work with us. And I think we have a challenge here as an ecumenical movement to include as many groups who believe in the same vision and who have the same values and that we are all together in working for rights of women, development of women and girls in particular. So I would say encourage as many groups to work with us, and we need to make that special effort to go out and find those groups whom we can partner with.